Hi, I'm Jinu, and you better hold on to your butts because my story is a crazy ride. Before we begin, please like and subscribe. I belong to a family of crooks. That's right, my parents are the worst. They'll do anything for money. Dad sells repainted junkyard cars to innocent customers, and Mom runs a salon where she keeps a small box of live lice to infect clients and start epidemics.
It's good for business, sweetheart. If I get hired to clean up nasty heads, sometimes they'll even come to get all their heads shaved off.
But it's wrong. You're tricking honest people.
You can't con an honest man, my boy. All those idiots who come through my shop want to be fooled. I'm just helping them lose their money faster.
And it pays for your fancy clothes and toys, pea-brained so butt out.
My little sister Mira was just as bad. She was pale and thin and had a fake doctor's note saying she had a weak heart, so everybody thought she was a sickly sweetheart. But she was actually as heartless as my parents. Mira often took her classmates' books and hid them.
Please, I just want my book back, Mira.
Yeah, if you give me and Sala.
I got so mad I snatched the book right out of her hands. Here you go.
Quit acting like you're better than me, big bro. You're just as wicked as I am. You just hide it better.
Shut up, Mira. I don't want anyone to know I'm related to you. I'm nothing like you. I was so afraid people would find out about my crazy family, so I went by my middle name at school. Rumi, my best friend, was the only good thing in my life. We would always hang out at her place because I didn't want her anywhere near my scheming family. For her 14th birthday, I gave Rumi a set of water guns. Her parents kept giving me weird looks. We were playing with the guns when I accidentally knocked her new iPad to the ground. I'm sorry. I'll save up and pay to have it fixed.
Are you happy now? You've ruined Rumi's birthday after your father sold me that disaster on wheels. I bet your family enjoys making people miserable.
How do you know about my dad?
Because I followed him on social media. You're probably just like him. I want you out of our house, and Rumi isn't allowed to be your friend anymore.
I looked at Rumi, hoping she would stand up for me, but she looked betrayed.
I can't believe you kept this for me. If you warned me about your dad, I could have saved my dad from wasting all that money on that piece of junk. He's right. You are evil.
Man, oh yeah, if your dad wasn't so cheap and just looking for a good deal, he wouldn't have fallen for a con artist. Your dad's a fool, and so are you. I ran home furious, but my parents didn't care that they've ruined my friendship.
Here, San, dry your tears. Once you become rich, you can buy new friends.
Yeah, that's the secret of happiness and popularity. You'll thank us when you're older.
I'll never thank you. I hate being in this house. But they just laughed like I was some cute little baby throwing a tantrum. They were impossible. So I added onion juice to Mom's night cream and turmeric to Dad's toothpaste. They were furious. Dry your tears, folks. But the next day at school, Rumi refused to speak to me. I felt awful. I was leaving an apology note in her locker after school when I heard a weird sound from an empty classroom. I peeked inside and it was Mira. That little sneak was stealing school property. I recorded her in the act. Mira was finally going to pay. The next day, the school was in chaos over the stone projectors.
Whoever did this is in big trouble. If anyone has any information, please come forward.
I immediately went to the principal's office and told her everything, but she wouldn't believe me.
You expect me to believe that weak little girl did this? Those projectors are heavy, Jinu.
Then what do you make of this? The principal was furious. She called her parents in and Mira was expelled, and my parents were so mad at me for telling on her, and Mira looked like an angry psycho.
I can't believe you ratted me out. I'm your sister.
You know what they say, there's no honor among thieves.
You're going to pay for this, Jinu.
Whatever. Not the case, but Mira went crazy one day. Mom was getting ready for brunch when she found a freaking skunk in her closet. Well, the rest of us were gagging because of the stink. Mira was laughing her butt off. She kept doing these things for weeks, but they always blamed me, not her.
Why would poor Mira do this? She loves us. She's one of us. You're still trying to get back at us because you're your stupid friend. This is ridiculous, Jinu, and you better stop now.
My parents stormed off and I turned to Mira. Do you think you'll always get away? I'll get you one of these days.
Keep trying, fart face. Mom and Dad will never believe it was me.
She was totally evil. I worried she'd do something to hurt me. Soon, things were a disaster at home, but at school I focused on getting on the football team. On the day of the tryouts, I discovered Terror was part of the cheer squad. Hey, it's good to see you.
I can't say the same about you.
We did our plays and I killed it. But before the names were announced, I saw Rumi whispering something to the football captain.
You've got average talent, but I know where we can put that big ugly face of yours. Here you can cheer on the team as the mascot loser.
I couldn't believe my sweet friend had turned into such a monster. One day after a game, I was running back in my mascot suit to the showers when I bumped into someone and fell on my butt. I looked up and saw Zoey, the most popular cheerleader and student body president.
Whoa! Easy there, Big Cat. We can't have our most important team member injured.
Most important? Me. You can't be serious.
Of course I am. Your cheers are great. I'm Zoey, by the way.
I know who you are. I'm Jinu.
You're too handsome to be hiding behind that mask. See you around, Lion. I mean Jinu.
Her jokes were cheesy but cute. I couldn't help falling for her. She brought me chocolates after every practice. It even helped me with a few math assignments. But Rumi didn't like us hanging out. One day during practice, she bumped into me on purpose.
Watch where you're going, criminal.
Shut up, Rumi. I thought you were my friend, but you're just a jealous witch. You can't see me happy.
I wonder how much Zoey will like you when she finds out your family is a bunch of crooks. Her dad is a judge, you know.
Don't you dare tell her.
Try me.
Zoey wasn't just my girlfriend, she was my only friend. If she ever found out about my family, she would drop me like a hot potato. But things were finally looking up. I asked Zoey to the prom and she said yes. But one day when I went to the gym lockers to get my mascot costume, it was gone. The game was already on and I was super late. I looked everywhere, but the costume was nowhere to be found. Then I saw it. The thief who had stolen my costume was charging at the cheerleaders and then pushed Rumi down, and I watched in horror as the mascot ran inside the locker room and took off the mask. It was Mira.
Try worming your way out of this one, moron.
Rumi made a big deal out of it. No one believed that it wasn't me and it was thrown off the team. Zoey, you have to believe me. I would never do something like this.
I believe you, Jinu. You're the most honest person I know.
Then you don't know him at all. Tell me, Zoey, have you ever met his family?
What are you doing, Rumi?
Telling the truth because you never do. Ask to see his family, Zoey. I bet he won't make it happen.
What is she talking about? And why don't you ever talk about your family?
It's really no big deal. Rumi's dad doesn't like mine because she won a business contract they both wanted. She's just a pretty little witch.
Then let's have dinner on Friday. My place. My parents would love to meet you and your family.
Rumi was ruining everything. I decided not to tell my parents about the invitation, but when I got home, I heard the most shocking thing.
Of course, we're available. See you then, Jinu. We've been invited to Judge Foss's house for dinner on Friday. Why didn't you tell us you were dating their daughter?
Because I don't want you to ruin this for me. Call them back and tell them you can't go say you had a stroke or something.
And give up a chance of rubbing shoulders with a judge. No way that kind of connection can really help us.
If you try to con a judge and he finds out you could face jail time, please call and cancel.
We know what we're doing, kiddo. Don't worry about it.
You just focus on keeping your girlfriend happy. Can you believe it? Our little goody two-shoes played the biggest con yet and made a judge's daughter fall for him.
That's my boy.
I paced my room furiously, thinking of ways to cancel the dinner. I decided to come clean to Zoey, but then something completely unexpected happened.
I hear you're having troubles with the parents. For a small fee, I can stop them from going to that dinner.
And why should I trust you?
I don't see anyone else coming to help you. You could pay me half now and half later.
Mira was a snake, but I was desperate, so I agreed. On Friday night, I got really sick.
Nice try, Jinu, but we're not buying it. You're trying to stop us from going to this dinner?
No, please. I'm not good at tricks like you guys. I'm really sick.
Then it's a good thing Mira is here to look after you. Have fun. We know we're going to.
I was sweaty and nervous, but sometime later, I got the most horrible call. Mom and Dad were in an accident. Zoey joined us as Mira and I rushed to the hospital, but thank God they weren't seriously injured. Apparently their car brakes had failed. I couldn't believe Mira had gone so far. You did this! What is wrong with you?
I didn't do anything to the car. I just gave you a bad burrito to make you sick.
And who did this?
We think you know young men.
The act was up. They had footage of me from our neighbor's security camera fiddling with Dad's car.
Jinu, what the heck is this?
It's revenge, okay? You guys ruined my life with your shady crimes. I wasn't going to risk Zoey finding out about you, so I tried to cut the fuel line to stop you from going. I must have accidentally cut the brake lines instead.
And all those pranks at home.
I did everything. The skunk, the itching powder, and the frogs. I framed Mira so you could see what an awful job you were doing bringing us up. But it made no difference. You guys are terrible parents, and now you made me just like you. I'm just as bad as all of you. They were all shocked and stared at me like I was the evil one when they had been fooling people for years.
This isn't okay, son. This is crazy stuff. You need therapy.
I don't need therapy. They do. They're criminals and crooks. They should be in jail.
Babe, please. I understand how hard it's been for you, and we all make mistakes, but 2 wrongs don't make a right. You need help, and I'll be with you every step of the way.
Hearing her kind words, I broke down crying. All right, I need help. I want to get better. I'm ready. Officer, Zoey held my other hand and we left together.
Don't worry, son. Your parents will get punished for their crimes.
No one is born defined by their family's mistakes. Having the courage to admit them, take responsibility, and seek help is the path to healing and building a better life.
Hi, my name is Lola, and I'm from Atlanta. Please like and subscribe. When I was a kid, my parents and I had adventures all the time. We played hide and seek. We fought monsters in our backyard. My life was fantastic. But when I turned 3, Mom gave birth to an evil witch named Genevieve.
Genevieve, we love you more than anything in the world.
Here you go, honey.
Hey, I was playing with that. Jen started walking at 9 months old. At 2, she could write her own name. And at 3, she could do the alphabet without making any mistakes. When Jen was 7, she won her first national spelling bee. She got a huge cash prize, and the reporter came over to interview her for the cover story of a magazine.
I'd like to thank my parents. I couldn't have done this without them.
We're so lucky to have a genius daughter. She's our pride and joy.
My parents kept gushing about Jen for hours as I sat in the corner. When and the reporter finally said it was time for pictures, I joined my family for a photo, but Jen insisted that I stay out of it. My parents tried reasoning with her, but she was beyond reason.
It's my moment, and she'll ruin my image with her stupidity vibe. Like my brain sees pictures with this special lens, and I'll be able to feel her dumbness every time I look at the pictures. I can't explain how my brain works. Just make her go.
So Mom gave me some money for ice cream and told me to wait outside while the photo shoot happened. A couple of months later, I came home from school and found Jen sitting on my bed, and all my stuff was gone.
Mom and Dad said I could switch. This room's bigger and has more space for my trophies.
But this is my room. Mom, Dad, may Jen give me my room back?
Lola, stop being ridiculous. You don't need a room this size. You don't have any trophies.
Jeannie, do you need anything? Should I put up some more shelves? A new bookcase?
I was so mad I threw myself on the ground and started screaming. This sucks, I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. I'll show you I'll get a new family that will appreciate me. I stormed out of the house. I got to the driveway and realized I had nowhere to go, so I decided to hide out in my treehouse. But then something crazy happened. My stomach started rumbling and I searched through my pockets to find a candy bar. Then out of nowhere, this girl appeared and snatched it out of my hand. Hey, that's mine. This is my treehouse. Get out.
I don't see your name on it.
It's written right there.
Oh.
Then the strange girl wrote the word Madison on the wall.
I guess we're roommates now. We'll just have to share.
Madison and I spent the rest of the day together. Then my mean old parents told me to come inside for dinner. They didn't even miss me or remember that I'd been upset. After that, when I wasn't at school or watching Janet spelling bees, I'd run out to the treehouse and spend time with Madison. One time we were pretending to have a sword fight in the backyard. It's over for you, Madison. Give up now.
You'll never take me alive.
Suddenly, Jen appeared out of nowhere.
Lola, who are you talking to?
Madison. Duh.
Who's that?
I turned around to introduce Madison, but she seemed to have vanished into thin air. She was just here. Must have scared her off with your mean vibes. I thought Jen would say something, but she just gave me a weird look.
I think you're old enough to not have an imaginary friend.
And went back inside and Madison instantly reappeared. Where did you go?
I didn't want to meet your stupid sister in there. I got you. You're dead.
When I was 12, I started junior high school, then Madison started sneaking into my school. She'd make funny faces and tell the best jokes. Madison, you're hilarious. Stop. Please. I'm going to pee my pants.
Who's Madison?
Is she talking to the wall?
Madison told me cool stories and she was such a gossip. She knew everything about everyone and she always had my back whenever a bully tried to mess with me. Having her around made me stronger and braver.
Hey, ugly, get out of my way.
Who are you calling ugly? You look like a rat and your breath smells like poo. Once I was cast in a school play and I had to do this huge monologue. My parents didn't even bother to come because Jen had a spelling competition the same day. I was so nervous I could barely speak, but then Madison showed up to cheer me on. I shook off my nerves and gave the best performance ever. I told my parents all about it, but they didn't care. Then one day things took a turn for my 15th birthday. Me and my family went on vacation, but when we got back home, I realized that Madison was gone. I searched for her everywhere. The treehouse at school and all over the house. She didn't show up. Madison, where are you?
What the heck are you screaming about? I can't even hear myself think.
I can't find Madison.
What are you for? Why do you keep acting like Madison is real?
She's real to me.
Look, I'm really busy, but do you want to talk? I know you're lonely and have trouble making friends, but this isn't healthy.
I'm totally fine. Just leave me alone and go back to your books. If it wasn't bad enough that Madison had just left me, Jen soon got moved up to my class because she was so smart. and all the other kids instantly loved her.
Is it true you can spell every word in the dictionary?
Yeah, almost. I am an international spelling champion.
Please. What was so impressive about spelling anyway? When was being able to spell the word crustaceology useful? Then one morning, the most popular girl in our class, Emily, handed out invitations to her birthday party. Hey, you forgot to give me my invitation.
Sorry, no freaks allowed.
Then she whispered to Jen and just loud enough for me to hear.
I can't believe you're related to her. I hope you can come. It's going to be the best party ever.
I don't think I have any contest that weekend, so I should be able to make it.
I watched as all the other kids waved their invites around. After school, I walked home and stopped at the candy store to cheer myself up. Just then, I caught this boy staring at me. What's your problem? Why are you staring at me? He reached behind me and pulled off a huge piece of paper that was taped to my back with the word loser written in bold black letters. I was so embarrassed. Then all of a sudden, I started to cry like a big baby.
What's wrong?
My life stinks. My best friend abandoned me, my family doesn't like me, and all the kids at school think I'm a freak and a loser.
You're not a loser.
You don't even know me.
I just have a feeling you're pretty cool and someone I'd like to know better.
His name was Hunter, and he was really cute, and we had a ton of things in common. We loved the same books and movies, and he made me laugh a lot. We quickly became friends, and having him around made me feel a lot less lonely. The more time I spent with Hunter, the more I started to like him. Then, one day my parents called me into the kitchen for a family meeting.
Guess what, Lola? I got into St. Florence's Academy. Isn't that incredible?
Jen, we're so proud of you. We can't wait to start our new life in Chicago.
Chicago? What? No way! I'm not moving there. I'm not leaving Hunter.
Lola, don't be selfish. You'll find plenty of new friends in Chicago.
I don't need to make new friends. I already have a friend here. I'm not moving. I stormed off to my room. 10 minutes later, Jen showed up at my door.
Can we talk?
Why have you found more ways to ruin my life?
That's not fair.
You want to talk about fair? Ever since you were born, you've taken everything away from me. My parents, my toys, my room, and now my only real friend.
I know I wasn't very nice to you when we were kids, but I've tried reaching out to you after that to talk or help you out with your issues, but you just shut me out.
Issues? My only issue is you.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah, right. Emily's throwing me a going away party tomorrow night. Come if you want, or just sit in your room being bitter. It's up to you.
Jen put the invitation on my bed and left. I was pissed at her, but I'd never been invited to a party before. My heart ached at the thought of leaving Hunter behind and never seeing him again. Hunter was more than my best friend. I felt I was in love with him. I invited Hunter to the party, and he agreed to go. The party was at Emily's mansion, and it was so much fun. The food was great, the music was spectacular, and the best thing of all was that Hunter was there with me. Then a slow song played. I like you.
I like you too.
You want to kiss me?
I really do.
We had the most magical kiss, but then something strange happened. I opened my eyes to find everyone staring and laughing and pointing at me, and Hunter was gone. Hunter?
Lola, what's wrong?
Where's Hunter? He was right there. I started to panic. Where could he have gone?
Hey, look at the freak making out with her invisible boyfriend.
Emily pointed at a huge screen on the wall. A video of me dancing alone and kissing the air played on a loop. I wished I could curl up into a tiny little ball and roll away. I ran out of there in tears and went straight to my treehouse.
I was adopted by my foster parents when I was only 4, and ever since then, I lived with them in India. Before continuing the story, please like and subscribe. Both of them love me to bits. But just as I turned 5, my foster mom died of some illness, and 2 years later, Dad married another woman who also had a girl child named Rhea. She was 2 years older than me, and I was excited about finally having an elder sis. But for some reason, we never got along, and even my stepmom totally hates me. On my 10th birthday, I woke up to find party preps going on in the house. I ran to my stepmom to find her busy putting makeup on Rhea. OMG, Mom. I can't believe you're throwing a birthday party. Can you put some makeup on me too? I love you so much.
Throwing a party? I won't even throw garbage in your name. All this is for my own beautiful daughter.
Just then, Dad came in and hugged me.
Well, my beautiful daughter never needs makeup. She's an angel already. Happy birthday, dear.
He gifted me a beautiful necklace, and then we both baked my birthday cake together. Dad was literally the best. One day in the 7th grade, as Rhea and I were walking to school, a boy jumped in front of us with a rose.
You're so beautiful, Olive.
Rhea snatched the rose from his hand and crushed it under his feet. As soon as we reached home, Rhea fed lies to her mom and she turned into an angry goddess.
So you're planning on spoiling my name, you ugly brat, talking and hanging out with boys. Do you think you're Miss World? You're not going to school anymore?
Mom, wait. Just listen. I didn't.
What? You mean Rhea is lying?
My stepmom took my hand and tried to lock me in my room. But just then Dad came in and saved me.
That's enough. This is not how you treat my girl.
Dad took me away and told me something really shocking. He said he's tracked down my real mom and I could go see her. Dad, no, I love you. And no matter what, I'm not leaving you. A few weeks later, he went abroad for a business trip, and I was dreading being left alone with my stepmom and Rhea. But the very next day, my stepmom woke me up with a coffee and a smile. Something was wrong. She even gave me Rhea's makeup kit and asked me to put it on. But when I went downstairs, there was a big group of people in my house. She then whispered to me,
"Listen, behave well. That's the groom's family, for God's sake. Make them like you. I just want to get rid of you as soon as possible."
What are you talking about, marriage? Mom, I'm not even 16 and I know this is illegal, so if you all don't want to end up in prison, please leave. After they left, my stepmom went crazy.
Have you lost your mind? How long do you want to stick with us? The foster care paid very little this time, and your dad is spending everything for you from his pocket. Gosh, you really suck.
She then blocked Google so I wouldn't email my dad, but I used FireGuard VPN and unblocked Google and Gmail. I decided I couldn't stay here anymore. I wrote an email to Dad telling him everything and left home that night with the address he gave me. And man, LA was like a whole other planet. Everything was so different. The people, their speech, food, everything. And my real mom was an actress, big shot celebrity. And I had no idea about that. When her guards introduced me with the adoption papers, she was shocked. But the next second, she hugged and kissed me like she loved me so freaking much.
Oh, Oliviana, my baby.
It's Olive, Mom. You would have known if you cared.
It's not Mom. Oliviana, call me Sandy, just like my fans do. And trust me, baby, I gave you up only for your good. But I'm sorry, okay?
I couldn't take it all in one go, but life there did seem nice. Mom gave me more than enough of everything. She appointed 3 maids personally for me, and my food came from different 5-star hotels every day. She also put me in the best school in LA, and I was getting a royal treatment there right from day one. All the kids were trying to be friends with me.
Hey, Olive, I'm the cheerleading team captain. You can have the seat next to me.
Hi, can I show you it from the school? I'm pretty much the popular guy here.
Well, I soon knew it wasn't for me, but my Rolls Royce and my mom's money, but I loved it anyway. However, I found the school totally weird. All girls had boyfriends and nobody punished them for it. I even saw some girls and boys kissing in the hallway. It took me some time to adjust, but slowly I started to feel lonely inside. Mom was always busy with work, and she barely had time for me, so I decided to make it up with cooking. Yes, I started taking cooking lessons, and it was so much fun. Once I saw Mom saying in a TV interview that she loved shrimp salad, so I learned the recipe from YouTube and made it for her. I was so excited for her to taste it, but she acted so weird.
Darling, what's this? Is that thing moving? Gross.
But you said shrimps were your favorite in the interview last night?
I did. Oh, then it's a lie. Don't take my words seriously, sweetie.
She left without even touching the food that I cooked for her. I felt so bad. The next day at school, I was surrounded by so many boys wanting to take me out on a date. Gosh, I really wish I could disappear for some time. Just then, a boy named Elon came to me and said,
"Hey, you're Olive, right? The principal is calling for you right now."
I went to the principal's office, but just as I was about to enter, Elon stopped me.
"Well, she didn't call for you. I just saw your sullen face when those kids were pestering you. So I just lied to help you escape. Don't be mad, all right?"
Oh my, why would I be mad? He was so charming and his dreamy eyes. I could feel butterflies in my stomach. Afterwards, we had lunch together, and he seemed so different from the others who were constantly trying to flirt with me. In no time, we became quite close, and he was literally the best person I have ever met. Then one day I took him home with me. But for the first time, Mom was at home and sitting in the drawing room. Sandy, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? This is my home, sweetie.
OMG, that's your mom? I can't believe it. I'm a crazy fan of yours. Ma'am, can I have your autograph?
Oh, please call me Sandy.
What did he just say? He was a crazy fan. And why was Mom acting like that? Stardom sucks, but whatever. I left the two of them alone and went to grab something to eat, but when I returned, I saw Mom hugging him.
Oh dear, I wish I had a son like you.
What, wasn't I enough? She kept chatting and laughing with him for hours while I just fell asleep on the sofa. And when I woke up, the weirdest thing happened. The maid told me that both of them went out for dinner without me. What in the world was going on? The next day at school, I was looking for Elon when I heard some strange giggles and talks behind my back.
Oh, Olive, I can't believe your mom is dating Elon. Is he going to be your dad now?
Shut up, what's wrong with you? Elon's about to be my boyfriend, so stop spreading lies.
Seriously, you didn't see the newspaper today? Or Facebook or Instagram? Their lovey-dovey pics are viral everywhere.
What was happening? I immediately grabbed my phone and saw the breaking news on every social media page. Hot young actress dates a schoolboy. OMG. I nearly fainted. I thought Mom would be so upset, so I rushed home. But to my shock, she behaved like nothing had happened.
Oh, this is very normal for a famous celebrity like me, honey. And this kind of publicity is good for my career. But don't you worry. I heard the boy has no parents and is living in a shelter and I'm adopting him next week. Then you'll see how everything changes.
What? You're adopting Elon? You can't do that. I was just going to ask him on a date. And you want him to be my brother now? No way, Sandy. Mom just smiled and walked away. What on earth was she thinking? The next morning, she came to my room and talked as if nothing happened yesterday.
Oliviana, today is the last day of my shoot for this movie. I knew you wanted to see my world. Come on, honey.
She was absolutely really crazy. But I met so many stars whom I've only seen on TV, and it was just awesome. Then someone asked Mom if I was her daughter, and she said,
Daughter, are you freaking mad? Look at my body. So stunning. I would never spoil my youth and my career by having a child. She's just my maid's daughter, and since I have such a huge heart, I decided to adopt her.
Gosh, what kind of mom was she? I didn't talk to her all the way back home, but worse, she didn't even try to apologize to me and kept on giving excuses.
Darling, this is how my life is. I can't survive in this field for long if everyone knows I'm getting old and I have a child, so…
Enough, Sandy. God, how can you be so untrue every minute? You've never been genuine to me and I completely hate this life in you. The next day I went to school and asked Elon if he knew about the adoption thing, and to my worst nightmare, he just hugged me and said,
Hi sis, how are you doing?
What did you just call me, sis? Weren't we kind of together?
You're so funny.
Before ending the story, I want to remind you that walking alone at night is very dangerous. Your safety comes first.
Hi, I'm Brianna from New York. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by my single dad, who owned a multi-million-dollar company. Even though he was super busy, he always put me first, and I felt truly loved. He worked from home till I was 3, and then he hired the best nannies to take care of me while he was away. Life was good, until one day something really strange happened. I was 4 years old, when one night I saw Dad working really late, and I decided to make him some hot chocolate. As I walked over to his desk, I suddenly tripped on the carpet and spilled it all over his laptop.
Oh my God, Brianna, you fried my laptop. It has so much important stuff on it.
Suddenly, I felt something happen to my face. I could feel my lips and nose and cheeks twitch uncontrollably. Dad noticed it and immediately took me to the doctor. She told us that face twitching was an involuntary condition, and it just happened to some people when they were stressed. There wasn't really any cure for it. When I turned 5, Dad enrolled me in the best school around. In the first lesson, the teacher asked us all to write a few lines about ourselves. But this girl next to me kept talking so loudly with her friends, I could hardly focus. Hi, can you make a little less noise, please? I'm trying to write and...
Gosh, are you telling me you're as stupid as you look? But don't interrupt me again.
Just then my face twitched, and she looked even angrier as the others laughed. She thought I was mocking her. And after that day, Mona became my sworn enemy. And it just stayed that way forever, even when we got older. Once, when I was in 7th grade, Dad and I got stuck in traffic on our way home, and we saw a homeless couple on the pavement fighting over a sandwich. A boy my age was sitting near them with a basket of apples, and he came running towards us.
Sir, would you like to buy a pound of apples? It only costs $1. And with that, I'll buy dinner.
Dad bought 5 pounds and gave him $200. The boy's face lit up and he skipped off happily.
Poor kid. He should be in school, but his parents can't afford it.
Dad, why don't we do that? Let's send him to school. Please, can we? He smiled and nodded. A week later, Dad enrolled him in my school, and when the teacher introduced him to the class, I found out his name was Jack. He didn't seem to recognize me, and I never brought it up that I'd seen him before or that my dad was the one who helped him. I didn't want him to feel embarrassed, but the rest of the kids were brutal, especially that Mona.
Hey Jack, why do you walk to school every day? Where's your car, man?
Come on, guys. Can't you see how poor he is? His pants are 2 sizes too small for him, and all he eats for lunch are apples.
I wanted to punch her face, but Jack didn't even react and walked away. I asked Dad to get him new clothes, and the next day, Jack looked so much happier. One day at the end of class, the teacher asked Jack to collect everyone's assignments. As he was walking through the aisle, someone stuck a leg out, and he tripped and landed hard on the floor. I rushed forward to help him, but Mona got there first and threw a whole bottle of ink on him. That was it. I grabbed her bag and threw everything out of the window. She screamed and pulled my hair. I turned around and slapped her face as we wrestled. We went crashing into a poor kid's solar system project, sending planets flying everywhere. We both ended up in detention, but it was worth it. The next day, I saw Jack walking towards me in the hallway, and I felt nervous. It was the first time we'd be talking. As he got close, my face started twitching. He stopped and abruptly turned away. Oh no, Jack. Please stop. I didn't mean to tease you.
You just wrinkled your nose like I'm something disgusting. I thought you were different after what you did yesterday.
Just let me explain, will you? I told him about my condition, and his face softened. We started hanging out after that, and soon we became friends. Well, I started having a small crush on him. He was sweet and simple, unlike any of the other rich hoity-toity boys I knew. A few days later, at a park entrance, someone was selling lottery tickets, and we both got a ticket each for fun. The results were posted online the next day, but Jack said he was too nervous to look. I laughed and took both tickets and started scrolling through the results. My eyes almost popped out when I saw some numbers. The winning one was mine. OMG, I just won the $10 million lottery. I didn't really need it, but this money could change Jack's life. So without another thought, I switched our tickets. Oh my god. Oh my god! Jack, you've won freaking $10 million. Can you believe this? He stared at me in shock, then started whooping and jumping around like a crazy monkey. It was the best moment of my life. I was so excited to meet him after the weekend. But as soon as I entered school, I spotted him in a corner surrounded by some kids, including Mona. Gosh, couldn't they just leave him alone? I rushed forward and shouted, "Just knock it off and stop bullying."
No, Brianna, relax. They're my friends.
I stared at him in disbelief. Friends? These guys? Turns out, Jack was on the local news for being the lottery winner, and now everyone in school was suddenly his friend. Kids were swarming over to our table at lunch and nearly knocked me off trying to sit closer to him. Everyone wanted to know what he'd do with his millions, and, well, he was spending them. One day, the flashiest red sports car drove up to school, and Jack jumped out of the back seat. He was now wearing branded clothes and carrying the latest iPhone, showing everyone pictures of his mansion. I was really happy for him, but he was suddenly so busy with all these new people and going to parties, I barely got to see him anymore. So one day, I texted him to ask if we could meet later, and he said he'd love to take me out for dinner. In fact, he picked out a really fancy restaurant, and it kind of felt like a date. But I was so mad when I kept waiting for 3 hours, and he never showed up. He wouldn't even pick up his phone. On my way home, we were driving past some cafes, when suddenly I yelled at my driver to stop. I spotted Jack under a streetlight, putting his scarf around a girl's neck and pulling her in for a kiss, and the girl was freaking Mona. I stormed over to them. "What the heck, Jack? You stood me up for dinner, and what are you doing with her?"
He's kissing me. Twitchy face. Because I'm his girlfriend.
His what? Jack, are you crazy?
Gosh, Brianna, I totally forgot about dinner. And no, I'm not crazy. Mona has apologized for everything to me, and she's actually really sweet.
No, she's not, Jack. Can't you see? She's suddenly into you because you're rich. That's why all those other people are your friends, too.
What's your problem, Brianna? Why can't you just be happy for me? Does it bother you that I'm not your poor friend anymore? The one you can feel sorry for and take care of? You just can't stand that I'm as rich as you now.
I can't believe you just said that. And suddenly, my face started twitching horribly.
God, I hate when your face does that. It's so annoying.
I snapped and slapped him across the face. I don't even know who you are anymore. And with that, I ran back to my car with angry tears down my face. I was heartbroken, and I told Dad everything that had happened that night.
I'm so sorry, sweetheart. And I'm sad to hear Jack's turned out this way. He'll soon realize he's lost the best friend he ever had.
Well, it didn't look like it would be anytime soon because he and Mona were now the hottest new couple in school. I could hardly stand to look at those two. But thankfully, the next few weeks, I was too busy working with my science club members to see much of them. Some professors from Harvard were coming to judge our projects, and we had a chance of winning a spot in a super exclusive summer program. When it was my turn to speak out at our presentation, I started off really confident. But just then, I spotted Mona and Jack in the auditorium, pointing and making faces at me. I tried to focus, but I felt so flustered my face started twitching, and I forgot all my words. I turned to leave, and I tripped and crashed straight into our project. As I saw Mona and Jack laughing from the corner of my eye, I picked myself up and ran away from there. I couldn't believe my best friend had become a spiteful jerk, ruining everything for me. I just never spoke to him again. A few days before the end of high school, I was walking past the principal's office when I saw Jack inside.
What's happened to you this past year? You've ignored all my warnings and now you've failed 3 subjects. You're not graduating high school. You'll have to repeat a year.
What? Come on, surely we can find another solution. How about I pay you 10 grand and you make my bad grades go away?
Get out of my office, Jack.
I quickly walked off before he could see me. He was so smart, but he'd just been wasting his time over stupid things. And Mona publicly dumped him the same day when she found out because she said she didn't want to be with a loser anymore. I graduated high school with flying colors. And of course, Dad came to attend.
Oh, hello, sir. I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Well, I was hoping to see you graduate along with my daughter, Jack.
Your daughter? What's her name?
Brianna.
What? Brianna is your daughter?
Yes. In fact, she's the one who insisted I send you to school all those years ago. You have a lot to thank her for, son, including that lottery ticket you think you won.
I was gathering my stuff from the locker when suddenly I found Jack standing behind me. What do you want?
Brianna, I know what you did. What kind of crazy person gives away $10 million?
What? How do you know that?
It doesn't matter, just tell me. Why did you do that for me?
Jack, when I saw you as a kid on the roadside, it broke my heart to think you didn't get as lucky as me to be born to rich parents. That lottery ticket was also just dumb luck. I didn't do anything to deserve it, but I really believed you deserved a better life. I still believe that, and I don't regret giving you the money at all.
I can't believe I was such a terrible jerk to the best person in my life. I'm really sorry. I don't deserve your forgiveness or your friendship, and I won't ever bother you again. Goodbye, Brianna. I hope you have a wonderful life.
He walked away, and I had a lump in my throat as I watched him leave. A few years later, at university, I was studying in the library one evening when I realized it was quite late. As I was walking back to my apartment, I suddenly felt like I was being followed. I looked around to find 2 masked men right behind me. I tried to run, but they caught up instantly, and one of them snatched my bag as the other pushed me to the ground. Just then, someone came out of the shadows and punched one of them. To my shock, I saw it was Jack. The two men started beating him up as I screamed for help. Just then, a policeman came around the corner, and the two men ran away. I called an ambulance, and I immediately rushed Jack to the hospital. He was unconscious and in really bad shape. He went into a coma. 10 days later, I was sleeping on a chair by his bed when I felt a hand on mine. Oh my God, you're awake!
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Jack, why were you there that night? How did you even know where I was?
I regret what I did to you so much, Brianna, so I made a promise to myself to always look out for you. I was too stupid to notice, but all those years, you were my guardian angel. You watched over me and stood up for me when no one else did. I owe you my life forever, and I love you, Brianna.
Finally, you sound like that sweet boy I used to be friends with. I forgive you, Jack, and I love you too. And with that, I leaned in for a kiss. Hi, I'm Nancy from Nevada. Before I start my action movie story, please like and subscribe. Being stuck in the orphanage, you would think snagging a new foster home would be lit. But nah, not for me. I messed up every shot by acting all crazy and throwing tantrums that made couples think twice. I'd seen firsthand how kids were moved from foster home to foster home, like there's some unwanted goods. And I didn't want that to ever be me, until Mr. and Mrs. John were the most interesting couple I'd ever seen.
We've heard nothing but great things about you, Pet. I hope we get along.
Yeah, fun. Can we just go now? Oh, I just knew living with them had to be interesting, but nothing could have prepared me for the next incredibly crazy week of my life. After driving for a few minutes in their tinted SUV, we stopped outside a huge mansion. Just then, Mrs. John handed me a carton filled with a box of cookies. Oh, are you trying to bribe me with these?
They're not for you. Deliver them to that mansion.
Wait, what in the world do you think I am?
Hey, kiddo, don't worry. We'll reward you for this. All you have to do is ring a bell and leave before the door opens. Now be quick!
It was all very confusing for me. I wanted to say no, but the cold look on their faces made me think again. Okay, chill out, Crazilla. I did as I was told and rang the bell. But before I could get away, I tripped and fell, face first. And it must have triggered an alarm system because the whole compound instantly started blaring red and sprinklers came on. And just then, Mr. John grabbed me. And the next minute, we're in the car and gone within seconds. So cookies, huh? Is that like my new job description? Great task for a girl guide, am I right? No one said a word, and we rode in silence. But what were the cookies all about? About an hour later, we pulled up to this large mansion. And when I walked in it, it was clear that this was not an ordinary home. There were a bunch of kids doing different things all over the house. Some were dancing, others were training in karate, and others were busy clacking on their laptops like maniacs. Gosh, why did they adopt me when they had these many kids already? I was kind of freaked out seeing the entire scenario of the mansion. It was like a whooping kids' mill, and I was hit with the freaking rules before I could even say hi to anyone. Not that anyone wanted to talk to me. They just glared at me like I had two poops on my head.
Lights out at 7 p.m. sharp. Breakfast at 5 a.m.
5 a.m., that's ridiculous.
Talking back and being disobedient will get you in a chokey.
A chokey? That can't be a real thing.
It is, and I can't wait for you to end up there.
Ha ha ha. Who was she? And what was she so excited about?
No phones or social media.
What? I'm gonna miss some of my avatar stories on YouTube without my phone. Anyway, things just got even worse that night when I heard weird noises outside and saw a huge truck loading stuff into the barn in the backyard. I literally wanted to run away instantly because I sensed something really horrible was going on in there. Curious, I crept out to the barn to take a closer look. But just then, someone appeared behind me.
I knew you were up to no good, new girl.
You're the chokey girl.
You!
She glared at me angrily, but before she could answer, Mrs. John showed up.
What are you girls doing here when you should be sleeping? I caught her sneaking around, Mom. I was about to bring her to you. Thank you, Kylie. You can go back to bed now.
That little snitch!
You!
Oh gee, how did I get out here? I must have sleepwalked again. Oops, I'll just go back to sleep now. Nighty-night. As I rushed back to the house, I spotted a boy on the other side of the barn trying to hide. So, the next day, while everyone was busy, I pretend slept all the way to the barn and bumped butts with someone.
Hey, watch where you're. Wow, you're so pretty.
Are you seriously hitting on me right now? Dude!
Oh.
Wait, you're that guy I saw from last night. Nosy much?
Huh? Look who's talking. Anyway, I'm Isaac. We can't be seen here together. Come on.
He took me to a corner and revealed that he was new here, but he had a feeling that something strange was going on.
A truck goes out every night, comes back after 3 hours, then they offload stuff from it. The barn doors and windows are always tightly shut, so I don't know what's in there.
We should totally find out what's in there. Chill, I have an idea. So that night, after dinner, Isaac and I met up outside the barn, jumped into the truck, and hid in a corner behind a cardboard box. A few minutes later, we heard feet. The door was shut, and the truck started moving.
We have 30 minutes in and out just like we've done before. Got it?
What the heck was going on? A little while later, the truck pulled up, and after everyone left, Isaac and I came out. Ow, gosh, my legs fell asleep.
Well, better wake them up because we don't have much time.
And that's when I saw it. Holy smokes, I've been here before.
What?
It's the house the Johns had made me deliver cookies at the day they adopted me. We watched through the window as the masked kids turned the rooms in our view upside down, throwing anything valuable in a bag. Jewelry, paintings, even expensive cutlery. They were going for everything. Oh my goodness! They're robbing rich people. But where are the owners? Within minutes, they were done and rushed out as Isaac and I ran back into the truck and hid behind the box. By now, it had become clear that we'd been adopted by a bunch of crooks. We had to get to the bottom of this, so we came up with a plan. But as soon as we tried to sneak back into the mansion, we got caught.
What do we have here?
Why is she always trailing us? Hey, Kylie, you can't tell anyone you saw us, okay? Just let us in and we'll get you more pink hair dye. Come on, girl!
Do you think I'm stupid?
Kylie, come on!
Just then, Isaac covered her mouth and we dragged her outside.
Shh, I'll remove my hand if you promise not to scream.
Kylie, please, it's really important. I'll get you more. Another pink teddy. Everything pink. I'll work my butt off just for you. Just hear us out. Isaac, let go of her. And we explained where we were and what we had seen. But it was like talking to a brick wall.
I can't believe you'd accuse Mom and Dad of something like that.
They were right about you all along. I know you don't believe us, but we have proof. We just have to get into the barn. Then you can see the stuff they stole tonight. Kylie wasn't convinced, and we were determined to prove ourselves. Minutes later, we managed to break the barn door lock. But spoiler alert! There was nothing in there except cleaning detergents and materials, food supplies, and other boring stuff. What happened to all the jewelry and expensive stuff they stole earlier?
Now you're really in trouble.
Kylie! But it was too late! Mrs. John had heard the commotion and was standing right behind us.
They were in the truck and claiming that you guys are crooks or something.
Thanks, Pet! You're doing a good job keeping an eye on the troublemakers.
Seriously, man, we saw where you were and what you did. Isaac, tell them!
I didn't see anything. I don't know what she's talking about, Mrs. J, by the way. Is that a new scarf? It looks amazing on you. I'll go back to bed now.
What? That freaking coward! Ugh, I was boiling with anger as I watched him practically run away.
Ha 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 ha! Your little boyfriend totally threw you under the bus. It must really suck to be you.
First of all, he's not my boyfriend. And secondly...
That's enough! Kylie, dear, I brought you your favorite marshmallows. Be a darling and let me talk to Nancy here.
She skipped out of the barn like she just won a lottery. For whatever reason, it was clear by now that she was the couple's little pet for sure. But the minute she walked out, Mrs. John turned cold as an iceberg. She doesn't know the truth, does she?
She's too slow and a little pathetic and talks too much. But you're smart! I knew the minute I saw you, you'd fit the team perfectly.
You won't get away with this.
I was gonna give you more time to settle in, but you seem very curious, so get ready for your second mission since you failed terribly on your first.
The next morning, I received an invitation and a red dress on my bed. According to this, I was expected to attend a very important ball in the next 3 days, and I was supposed to learn how to waltz. What in the freaking coconuts? I've never waltzed a day in my life. I wanted to rip off the dress, but to fulfill my mission, I had to agree to everything they said. 2 days of intense dance lessons and my trainer's swollen toes. Later, I was ready to go. I didn't even know who my dance partner was. I walked in and saw Isaac at the center stage in a freaking two-piece suit. Gosh, was he always this handsome? It was like I was seeing him for the first time. And when he took my hand to the dance floor, I felt like a princess.
Wow, you look so beautiful.
Even his voice was melting my heart. Nope, nope, snap out of it, girl. This is not the time. Don't think I forgot how you left me alone the other day, you coward.
I'm sorry we had to carry out with the plan. They're watching our every move. If we fail, they might pin everything on us and send us to juvie.
Then let's do this before I pass out. I'm so freaking nervous. So, as planned, Isaac and I danced our way near the target's table and pulled our best moves, which left her pretty impressed. And when she was hooked, I grabbed the edge of the tablecloth. And when Isaac spun me, I pulled it, pouring drinks all over everyone on the table. And Isaac pretended to slip and landed on the waiter, carrying drinks and snacks in his hand. It was pure chaos, but just enough time for me to slip the flash drive into the mayor's wife's hand and whisper in her ear, "Please, please watch it and save the children." All right, you guys must be so lost, so let me catch you up on what happened between the day of the barn and the ball. Can you roll it all the way back? So, after Isaac chickened out that night, he didn't really leave the barn. We'd felt parts of the wooden floor creak earlier. So after everyone went to sleep that night, Isaac let me in the barn. And when we flipped the wood on the floor, we found a secret room with a bunch of laptops, tracking devices, crazy tools, all the jewelry, expensive paintings, and other stuff stolen from so many houses and rich people. And they had files on each kid and something to hold against us. So we never talked to the police. They were horrible. There were also cookie-shaped secret cameras, which must have been put in the boxes delivered to the targeted houses. But we needed help to expose the couple. So we showed everything to Kylie, and she was so heartbroken.
It was all a lie. How could they? I thought I finally got a family who'll take care of all my needs. I loved them, defended them, and trusted them. But now...
Hey! I know you must be feeling terrible. It's hard for us orphans when we come so close to a family and we lose them in a blink, isn't it? But listen, you don't need that couple to be your family. There are plenty good people out there. And I'm here for you too.
If you're done with your TED Talk, we have to come up with a plan.
Guys, I have an idea. They're going to pay for this.
She turned out to be pretty smart. So with her help, we found out that there would be a ball. And the Johns were planning to use us and other kids to steal from the mayor's wife and other rich guests at the ball. So we took pictures of everything thanks to a phone Kylie stole for us, recorded everything, and put it all in a flash disk. And that's how we ended up here. If you're watching this, Mrs. Mayor, I'm really sorry about your expensive Louis Vuitton. A few hours after the ball, the police raided the Johns' home and found everything as we'd presented it in the flash disk. The kids' records were also cleared, and they were put in good foster homes. After a few weeks, Isaac, Kylie, and I got sponsors who sent us to campus. Kylie and I studied to be social workers and help protect kids, while Isaac joined a police academy.
Hi friends, my name is Subin and I'm from Korea. Please like and subscribe. When my mom was pregnant with me, so was her best friend.
When our kids are born, they'll be buddies just like us.
And Ben and I were growing up, he was my pal. One time, Ben and I were playing and he was running after me. Then he accidentally nudged me and I fell down the stairs. I hit my head. But before I could cry, Ben started wailing.
No, Subin! Oh my god, it's all my fault. Does it hurt? Let me pick you up. Gosh, you're heavy. Subin! Are you okay?
Ben? I'm fine, really. Saying that I hugged him. Ben was such a softie. I did get an infinity stone on my forehead, like Vision, but I didn't blame Ben. He was the best, and I wished we'd always be together. But when I was 5, Ben and his parents had to move to France for a work opportunity. And I missed him so much. As if things couldn't get any worse. Dad suffered a huge loss in his business soon after. Slowly, I saw how bad Mom and Dad's relationship was getting because of money problems. And after a few years, Mom left us. But Dad always tried to make me happy. We were so short on money that we had to shop at thrift stores, but he spent hours looking for the things I'd like.
Look at this jacket, Subin. It has rhinestones. You love rhinestones.
It is pretty, Daddy.
See? I told you we'd find some good stuff here.
Since I was a good student, I got a scholarship at my school and relieved Dad of that burden. I worked hard and was a top student. I needed to keep the scholarship. And when I was in the 10th grade, something awesome happened. Ben and his parents had returned to town and moved into a big mansion. And seeing Ben on the first day of school after summer vacation, my heart started beating fast. And then he swept me into his arms.
Subin! Oh my god, you haven't changed a bit!
But you have. You're so tall and whoa, so muscular. Ben and I were in the same class and we started hanging out together all the time. But I soon realized he was getting way too much attention from all the girls, especially Haran, and she was the worst. She acted like she owned the whole town just because her mom was the mayor. And to my horror, Ben and Haran soon started dating. I hated her. But for Ben's sake, I pretended to be nice, and she did the same. She acted like a saint in front of Ben, but not when he wasn't around. She'd do petty things like pull out the chair when I was about to sit, and she would always comment on my clothes and appearance.
I'm saying all this for your benefit. No one likes a girl who looks so poor.
I'd rather be poor than a jerk like you. Gosh, what did Ben ever see in that witch? One time for lunch, Ben had gotten the yummiest pizza, and we were enjoying it when Haran came and hugged him tight.
Oh, I missed you so much in art class. Why didn't you join it, Benny Winnie?
You know I'm a science guy, babe. Here, wanna have some pizza?
She refused, and then Ben packed the leftovers and told me I should take them home because he was full. Dad and I never ordered out much, and I was happy to share it with him. A few weeks later, it was Ben's birthday, and he invited me to his place. I saw how Ben and Haran were dancing so close to each other, and it made me feel so jealous. I went to the balcony for some fresh air. After a while, I was headed back inside when Haran and some of her friends came, and I hid behind a plant.
You've really got yourself a hot boyfriend this time, Haran.
Yeah, he's totally wrapped around my fingers. He adores me and gives me the best gifts. There's just one problem. His miserable beggar friend. Oh, I really hate her. You know, Ben cares for her so much that he gets her favorite pizza for lunch every day and pretends to be full so she can take the leftovers home. He really pities her and she has no shame. She could probably live on his charity forever.
Why would Ben tell her something like that?
What? So pathetic.
Wiping my tears, I just ran back home. After that date, I sort of ignored Ben, even though he asked me if something was wrong a million times. I just didn't need his pity or his charity. When we were in our senior year, our teacher announced a science tournament and the winning team was going to get an amazing cash prize. Dad and I could always use the money, so I immediately signed up for it and I was paired with Ben. I tried to get my partner changed, but the teacher said it was final.
So you want to come over to my place to brainstorm some ideas?
No thanks.
Hey, Subin. I don't know why you stopped talking to me, but come on. This is a great opportunity. Let's do this together, please.
I knew Ben was a science genius and being paired with him was probably the best thing. So I reluctantly agreed. We came up with some really cool ideas and I ended up at his place almost every day to work on them. But I noticed how his mom was never around. A few times I asked about her, but he'd always ignore the question. But one time, Ben and I were at a park near his home and he asked me the strangest question.
Subin, do you ever miss your mom? Does she call you? How does it feel to live with just one parent?
I never really thought about it. I guess it's not so bad knowing how much my dad loves me. It's not exactly a secret that we don't have much money, but he goes out of his way to make me happy. I don't know how to live with two parents, but the one I have, I love to bits.
That's really sweet, I asked because, well, my mom, she isn't well. She's going through treatment. Sometimes it's really hard to see her like that.
Oh God, Ben, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going through such a rough time.
Subin, why'd you stop talking to me?
Taking a deep breath, I told him what happened at his birthday party.
Subin, Haran kind of twisted my words. Yeah, I told her you guys were going through a tough time, but because you're my friend and I care about you, not because I pity you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have discussed it with her at all.
saying that he came close and swept my bangs aside.
You still have the scar. I was so scared that day. I'm so sorry, Subin.
Hey, it was a long time ago, and it kind of reminded me of you. When you were away, Ben looked at me like he might kiss me, but he suddenly snapped his fingers.
Bazinga! I just got a brilliant idea for our project.
And he sure did. Just a few more adjustments and our model worked. We came first at the science competition, and Ben gave all the prize money to me, saying I did the hard work. It wasn't true, and I knew he was just being kind. Why did such a nice guy have to be with Harun? But then Ben told me one day that he was going to break up with Harun soon. My heart was jumping with excitement, but I pretended to be sad. And when Ben broke it to Harun, the girl had a complete meltdown. She took a bat and smashed all the notice boards around the school during her psycho rampage. Harun suddenly spotted me and was coming right at me, but Ben stepped in between.
Stop making a fool of yourself, Harun. It's over.
You're doing this because of her! Because of this poor, ugly bimbo!
Subin's my best friend, and she's special to me. Don't insult her again.
Harun stomped off furiously, and I was left dazed. Ben just said I was special to him. Whoa. I was on cloud 9, and I just needed to confess my love to my best friend. I didn't have the guts to say it to his face, and we didn't have phones, so I wrote him a letter. Dear Ben, I saw you for the first time in kindergarten, and I've had a crush on you since. What I really want to tell you is that I love you a lot. Subin. During recess, I slipped the note in Ben's bag, but for some reason he got called to the principal's office in the last period. I kept wondering if he saw the letter, and when I got a reply the next day in my locker, I almost had a heart attack.
Dear Subin, I love you too. I was going to tell you, but I didn't have the courage. Let's meet at our spot tonight. I can't wait to kiss you. Ben.
It was like all my dreams were coming true. Wearing a new dress, I went to the park and waited for Ben. I was so excited and nervous. But suddenly I felt someone pull my hair and I landed on my butt. Harun!
Oh, a new dress for Ben! Ha ha ha! He ain't coming, sweetie. He showed us your letter and we're all in fits.
What? You're lying.
Oh no, I'm not. You really think he'd leave me for some poor beggar like you? In your dreams, girl.
Harun kicked me and suddenly I saw red and I pounced on her. But her friends got me off of her and then they all ripped my beautiful dress. I felt so furious that I punched Harun square in the jaw. What happened next was a disaster. Harun called her mom and made up a whole story about how I attacked her for no reason. And her mom made a case of assault against me and actually sent me to juvie for 2 months. My dad was devastated and so was I. Even worse, Ben never showed his face, not once. Coward! As soon as I got out, Dad and I left town. After weeks of interviews, Dad finally ended up finding a decent job, and I worked as a waitress too, while I studied in a community college. 4 years later, I graduated with a law degree at the top of my class. Luckily, I got hired by a law firm, and just a couple of years later, I became a junior partner. One day, I read a piece of news that filled me with joy. Harun's mom had been arrested for corruption during her time as mayor. The whole family was being publicly humiliated. They deserved it. Sometime later, my firm asked me to set up an office in my old town, and I was kinda glad to return. I wanted to show everyone what I'd made of myself. One day, I was busy doing some paperwork when Harun walked into my office asking me for a job.
Please, Subin, help me! No one in this town wants to hire me or my family for anything. I know I was mean to you.
Cruel, you were cruel to me.
Yes, cruel and terrible. Please, please forgive me.
After Harun begged for a job for days, I finally let her be my personal assistant. And she had to do literally everything I asked. I really made her suffer for a while. It was fun, but then it wasn't. Seeing her qualifications, I gave her a higher position.
Wow, I don't know what to say. Thank you. And this means you've forgiven me?
No, not really, but I'm trying to be a better person, better than people were to me.
Subin, I never wanted things to go so far with you going to juvie and everything. Mom just got carried away. I'm really, really sorry.
After that day, Harun was always nice to me, and so was I. I just didn't want to hold grudges. But one day, as I was walking out of a coffee shop, I bumped into a guy. It was Ben.
Oh my God, Subin, I've missed you. We need to talk.
Suddenly, the memory of him giving my letter to Harun came rushing back. No, stay away from me! But the next day, There were tons of roses in my office and a note from Ben telling me how he wanted to meet at our spot. What a jerk. But this kept happening every day for a week. One day I got so frustrated that I started throwing them out the window, but Harun stopped me.
Subin, I need to tell you something, and it's gonna make you hate me even more. But I have to. Ben is completely innocent.
What are you talking about?
Ben never got your letter. I stole it from his bag, and I lied that he showed it to me. I made all of that up, and he never showed up to see you because, well, he'll tell you everything. And again, I'm terribly sorry.
I drove to our spot in the park and saw Ben sitting on a bench, and I gave him a chance to explain. Turns out the day I put the letter in his bag, Ben got the news that his mom had suddenly gotten much sicker, and he flew to France with her for some treatment. He stayed there the next 3 months, and he said he called my place and wrote me letters, but he never got a reply. And when he returned, I'd already left town.
I looked for you a lot, but I had no idea where you were or why you'd left without a word, till Harun reached out to me some weeks ago and explained everything she did.
She just told me everything, too. I'm so sorry about your mom. I'm sorry I left without giving you a chance to even explain.
It's all in the past. There's only one thing I need to say to you now, Subin. The thing is, I've always...
Loved me?
Yes!
I've always loved you too, Ben, since forever.
Hi, I'm Layla from Washington, and I have a really personal story to share today. But before I do, please like and subscribe. My mom gave birth to identical twin daughters, me and my sister Elise. So, of course, my parents dressed us in the same clothes and braided our hair with matching ribbons. But people could easily tell us apart for one reason. Elise was born with a minor facial distortion. Her eyes were a little lopsided, and her mouth was almost as low as her chin. I, on the other hand, looked like a freaking porcelain doll. And everywhere we went, people would ooh and ah at me. She's just too lovely to be real.
Wow, look at those brown eyes.
I have the same color eyes.
But everyone ignored Elise, and it really got to her. I kept telling her she was just as pretty as me, but she wouldn't hear a word of it. And as years passed, my sister grew to hate me. Elise did everything she could to make me feel as sad and angry as she felt. She'd spread rumors about me at school, steal my diary, and once she'd tried to shave off my eyebrows. I was living in fear, 24/7. Worst of all, my parents didn't take it that seriously.
I'll take away her electronics for a week.
That's not enough, Dad. Elise is trying to ruin my life. What if she tries to seriously hurt me?
Oh, Layla, that's silly. Elise is just going through a phase and we would never let her harm you.
They didn't understand, and when I turned 14, things really turned upside down. One afternoon, I came home from school to find Elise in the living room with my parents, and they looked furious with me.
How could you do something like that, Layla?
What are you talking about?
Elise said you locked her in the closet for an hour. We heard her calling for us.
What? Just then, I saw Elise, and she was smirking at me.
I just don't think I feel safe around Layla anymore, Mommy. How can I trust her after what she did?
Guys, she's framing me. She locked herself up in the closet.
And why would she do that? That's just twisted, Layla.
Didn't my parents see how crazy Elise was? Not one of them talked to me that night. They all watched Luna Avatar with a bowl of popcorn while I stayed in my room. But the next morning, my parents did the unthinkable. They made me move into the guest house.
It was Elise's idea. You two need space away from each other. We can't have this negativity in the house.
So you're kicking me out? What, because I trapped her in the closet? I told you guys I didn't do it.
It doesn't matter who did it. The point is, you two are toxic for each other right now. And at the moment, Elise needs our attention more than you do. You have more friends and the world at your fingertips. It's just for a short time, Layla.
I was speechless. I was being punished for literally nothing, and it was all Elise's fault. I moved into our guest house that evening and didn't speak to any of my family members. In fact, I continued to ignore them for the next several months. Sure, it was clear Elise was much happier without me in the house. She made more friends and even picked up a few hobbies. But I was still bubbling with anger. One day, I was coming out of the supermarket when I saw a homeless boy outside with dyed turquoise hair. I immediately pulled out a bag of bananas and some change, but he just laughed.
Whoa, do I look like a beggar?
If I'm being honest,
These clothes are just really old.
I still insisted that he keep the bananas, and the two of us ended up having lunch together. I found out the boy's name was Easton, and he lived in an apartment down the block. He was also an absolute sweetheart. I told Easton all about my home situation and Elise's issues with me, and he had a brilliant idea.
Pretend to run away from home, leave at midnight, and leave a note. Turn off the location services on your phone, and you can stay at my place. They'll get so scared they'll beg you to move back in with them. They might even finally punish your jerk sister.
I was sold. My whole family deserved a little scare, so that night, I sent a text to both my parents to tell them my plans and switched my location to private. I spent the next 2 nights at Easton's apartment. His family was really poor, and I had to sleep on a torn cot, but I felt fantastic. My parents were probably going crazy.
Maybe they think you joined a gang.
Or they think I'm pregnant and ran off to get married. Unfortunately, the fun didn't last long. The next morning, my parents burst into Easton's apartment with several cops. They hugged me and cried for a moment, but then they were furious.
Why would you scare us like this? We had no idea what was going on.
Sorry, but you kicked me out for no reason, and then neglected me for 6 months. I needed to teach you a lesson.
Teach us a lesson? Layla, we know the living situation isn't perfect, and we know we haven't been giving you as much attention, but just disappearing like you did. That's crazy behavior. Come with us right this second.
After that, Mom let me move back into the house, but she watched me like a dog. Elise even suggested I shouldn't leave home without her escorting me, and my parents agreed. Luckily, I could still hang out with Easton, who was the only person who seemed to care about me, and it turned out we'd even be going to the same high school next month. On my first day of 9th grade, I was in gym class when Easton started jogging next to me.
Whoa there, you look ready to faint. Here, take some of my water.
Oh God, is it that obvious?
Don't worry, you still look lovely, even though you're drenched in sweat.
Easton smiled at me as I drank from his water, and I felt a little weak in the knees, and not just because I was tired. I saw Elise glare at me as she jogged by, but I didn't care. As months passed, Easton and I just got closer, and whenever Elise was mean, he always defended me.
You can make fun of Layla's dress all you want, but she's the one who got a party invitation, and you didn't.
Secretly, I had the biggest crush on Easton, but I was way too chicken to ever tell him. I was just grateful to have a best friend. It was exhausting living with a bully 24/7. Then, one day, when I came home from school, my parents gave me shocking news. They'd found a plastic surgeon to fix Elise's facial distortion. They couldn't completely get rid of it, but I'd never seen my sister so happy.
I felt so ugly my whole life, Layla. I know it sounds shallow, but I can't wait to be as beautiful as you.
Elise, look at me. You've never been ugly. But if getting this surgery makes you feel more confident, then I support you. Elise started to cry then and hugged me. I stayed with her in the surgery room the entire time, and she even apologized for how she treated me. And I was glad. I was ready to give up our crazy fighting. After Elise's surgery, things changed between us. Elise didn't seem jealous of me anymore, and even started hanging out with me and Easton. Then, one day, I walked into my front yard and almost had a heart attack. Elise was kissing Easton. Hey, does someone want to tell me what's going on here?
Well...
Layla, I've been meaning to tell you. Easton and I like each other, and I asked him out.
I felt like I was gonna throw up. I pulled Elise aside angrily. How could you do this to me? Elise, I love him and you know it.
I know you love him, and I'm sorry. But I've been hanging out with Easton for a couple of weeks, and we have a connection.
How could you do this to me? Elise, I love him and you know it.
Layla, I'm not trying to hurt you. I really like Easton, and I just want to be happy for once.
I can't take this anymore. You made me miserable for 14 years, and then got me kicked out of my own house and convinced Mom to basically ground me for 24/7. This is the last straw. I stormed off and blocked Easton on all social media. He kept calling me to apologize and tell me that him dating Elise wouldn't change our friendship, but I refused to speak to him. The next day at school, I decided it was time for overdue revenge. The first thing I did was attach a bucket of paint to the cafeteria doorway, and when Elise walked in with Easton, pink splashed all over them. Everyone laughed like crazy, and I felt great. I got suspended for a day, but it was worth it, and I didn't stop there. That entire month, I pulled every prank I could think of on them at school, putting spiders in their locker and gluing their butts to the classroom chairs. I felt guilty for being a jerk, but Elise deserved it, didn't she? And Easton was dating my sister, who bullied me my whole life. Then one day, I was studying in the courtyard when Easton walked over to me, and he looked furious.
I've had it with you, Layla. Your jealousy has turned you insane. All the kids at school now are terrified of you.
What do you mean? I've done nothing to anyone, except you and Elise.
Really? Because the bucket of paint from your prank got all over the cafeteria floor, and one kid tripped and sprained his ankle. I'm sorry you're hurt about me dating Elise, but it happened organically. Our feelings for each other had nothing to do with you. I know you're hurt, but don't become a bully because of it.
Easton walked off, and I thought about what he said. Maybe Elise wasn't trying to hurt me, and her falling for Easton was just a coincidence. Maybe I could just be happy for her. So that week, I did everything I could to make things right with people. I volunteered to help as many kids as I could with homework, and they'd know I wasn't a monster. And I apologized to Elise and Easton, and surprisingly, they forgave me. On Friday night, Elise and Easton were celebrating their 1-month anniversary at the beach. So I told Elise I'd deliver them a picnic basket. But when I got there, Elise was sitting alone in the sand, and she was crying. Hey, what's wrong? Where's Easton?
He's not here, Layla. He's not coming.
Did you guys break up?
No, because we never dated. It was all fake. I even paid Easton monthly and used up all my savings. I wanted to make you jealous.
Wait, what? I don't understand.
I thought that after my surgery, people would start treating me differently because my face looked better. I thought I'd finally get as much attention as you. But because my distortion isn't totally fixed, I didn't. And that made me angry. But I can't do this to you anymore. I feel horrible.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Elise kept apologizing, but I couldn't even look at her. I didn't want revenge. I just didn't want to deal with her anymore. Things completely changed between us after that. My sister and I both cut contact with Easton and became strangers to each other. It broke my heart, but I didn't know what else to do. We were toxic for each other. Before we knew it, high school ended, and we both went our separate ways. A couple of years later, I was walking around my university campus when I got a phone call.
Layla, it's Easton. I know we haven't spoken in years, but I need your help. My parents lost their house and are homeless. I'm doing everything I can to help them, but I'm desperate. I'm calling everyone I know for either money or food.
My stomach was in knots. I still hated Easton for what he did, but he was obviously in a crisis. So I bought a bunch of food and clothes and arrived at the homeless shelter.
God, you're an angel. I can't thank you enough.
I'm not doing this for you. It's for your parents. And I never want to see you after this. Do you understand?
Yes. What I did to you was unforgivable. Can I just tell you one thing? I never wanted to go through with Elise's fake dating plan. The only reason I agreed to it was because my family's been struggling since I was a kid. I was always terrified we'd end up living on the streets. It's still no excuse, especially because I was in love with you.
My head started spinning. I had no idea Easton had been suffering that much, and I had no idea that he loved me. I decided it was time to smooth things over. That night, I went right home and convinced my parents to give Easton's family a loan, and then I asked if they could invite Elise for dinner.
Oh, sweetie, that's a wonderful idea. She's doing well these days, but she talks about you a lot.
For some reason, I was happy to hear that. When Elise came over, she immediately ran to hug me.
Layla, I'm so glad you're here. Actually, I got you some presents.
Elise handed me a huge gift bag, and to my shock, she bought me all kinds of expensive presents. Perfume, jewelry, and even a brand new iPad.
None of this makes up for how I've treated you over the years. But I love you, Layla. And if you ever want to have a relationship, I'm here.
Thanks, Elise. That means a lot. You did really hurt me. But it has been a couple of years. I can't forgive you overnight. But this is a good start.
I also know you got in touch with Easton. If you ever want to date him, you have my blessing. It's a possibility. But
first, I want to make things right with you. Though, of course, Elise invited Easton over later and left us alone on our porch.
I'm really glad you and Elise made up. Do you think you can ever forgive me? Layla, I never really got over you.
Wow, I didn't know that. But it will take me some time to trust you again.
I understand that. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.